I've had the honor and privilege of touring people from all over the world in Palia. It's the one thing that really brings us all together. One community sticks out in particular, and that's our friends in the Philippines. We have toured so many really wonderful and notable plots, and I just want to thank everybody that's in the Philippines right now for trusting my channel to capture some of your creation and your culture. One of the things that I've learned about that culture in particular is that there's a really big importance on food and family. I just think that's so sweet. There's lots of other places, cultures that do a lot of some of the similar things. That's always been a common theme that I've learned about Filipino culture. This next plot is no exception. And I absolutely love that people are able to express their culture through the design language of Palia. I think it is a absolutely beautiful thing. And if you're from the Philippines, I salute you. Honestly, I salute you. I am excited to bring more stuff that represents you, your country. One of the things that's been really fascinating to me as a content creator is how everyone that I've toured that lives in the Philippines, their designs are practically a love letter to the culture. I'm excited about going and checking that out. I'm told that there's lots of references, and I hope if this plot resonates with you, go ahead and give this video a like and let me know what specifically about it really sung to you. Hey, it's Finny Commit. I have the honor and privilege today to go and tour your mom, MrsHappyHour, who has been around our channel a little bit. And I'm so excited because like the first time that I had toured her plot in the past, I didn't have her on voice. Today I do. So I am so happy to go and check this out. And oh my gosh, there you are. More and more people like sneak up on me. It's hilarious. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Ah, it's such a privilege to get you on voice. I'm really excited and you know, you're my tour guide where we're going. Follow you.
Awesome. I'm glad you're here. So this is my Filipino inspired plot right here, right off the bat at our mail station. I kind of did an homage to what we call balikbayan boxes, which
Ooh,
balikbayan it means homecoming.
ooh.
And I remember as a kid packing these boxes and sending them to the Philippines full of, clothes and shoes and canned goods, stuff that they couldn't have there.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what these boxes are an homage to.
That is so cool. I'm so excited. I know you mentioned earlier that there's lots of little themes like that too. Please educate me. I'm excited to learn.
Yes. Also, funny little fact, there are bluebells all over my island because actually in at our house, we live on a half acre. We have bluebells everywhere. You cannot get rid
Oh,
of them. And
oh,
so
that's
that's a
so cool.
little hidden thing there.
That is so cool.
Yeah. Over here we have the little vendor market and what we call a sari, which is like a neighborhood store. Our
Oh.
family is from a really small, remote town
Hmm.
on Luzon, and they own a little sari. So this is a part of that.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So you can buy fish, drinks, fruits and vegetables, snacks, spices.
That is
Um,
awesome.
yeah. We got a little of everything that you can get here. So it's like their, rural mini market, I guess you would say. And our family owns it. So our family takes turns on who works in the store.
Oh,
And you'll see
yeah.
here, there's a little bench for, if the family wants to just come hang out for the day. So they're not alone.
That's really cool. I love that. Like it's you have such a established bond with like your own family as well as like the community itself. So there's lots of camaraderie in that.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of little nods like that. I haven't been back to the Philippines in a long time, but these are like memories that I have, and I'm hoping to take my kid there someday.
That's really cool though. One of the things I mentioned before to before the video was like the plots that I've toured, of other people who are either they're in the Philippines or they're from the Philippines, it has been a love letter to the Philippines. And it's been so fun for me to kind of learn about all of those different really heartfelt types of things, like through the design language of Palia. So yeah, I'm happy to tell me all about it.
Yeah. And each one of these little vendors, is like comes from the heart. So somebody that really likes plants, like the female parts of our family, they're very into plants. I even started learning to garden, and of course food. And then over here we have a little homage to like the nerdy side of me. I don't know if you've ever
Ooh,
played Skyrim,
I have played Skyrim, yes.
but this is a little Khajiit market.
Ah, Khajiit has wares if you have coin.
Yes, 100%. So that's what that is an homage to, because I lost so many hours of my life to that game.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
And then over here we have a little koi pond. We actually have a koi pond on our property. We've had it for quite a few years now, and my husband and I love to just sit and watch the fish.
They are quite beautiful fish. Yeah.
Yes, very expensive and finicky as well, but they're
I
beautiful.
imagine so. Yeah, totally. Totally.
But yeah, so let's go inside.
All right.
On our porch here, we have two dogs. We have two dogs. Akira and Zara are our two dogs, so they're kind of here to represent them, and they're by the front door where they always are to greet us when we come home.
Yes. Guard dogs.
Yes. Yes.
Oh. One of my favorite views is just like right as you walk into the Grand Harvest House and seeing how people decorate as this opens up. Just you have this wonderful backsplash of portraits along the back. You have nice cozy seating areas up front. Like as I do a little pan around, even though look from your end, it looks like I'm just standing still. I'm like slowly panning around the camera like I do and just like taking it all in. Like it's so fun for me to see how people just with little items, like you can totally tell you took off your boots and they're so dirty that they're practically growing vegetation. So
yes. And that is also like a Filipino sign of respect, is to take your shoes off in the house. Like even my aunt, they actually have slippers set aside for guests to change their shoes into when they come into the house. So that's kind of part of that.
That is cool. That is cool. Yeah. I like how everything is laid out. Like everything that I see so far, just in this space, I love the earth tones. I love the bookshelves, and everything that you have is so nice and tidy. But it's also engineered for conversation, especially like the little central area that you have with the different mixes of the rattan furniture and the log cabin furniture and the newer set too. Yeah.
Yeah, this is actually kind of how my aunt's house is in the Philippines is set up. Like the wallpaper is the exact same color that's on her walls. And they have a huge living area like this because they all have houses in our neighborhood, but my aunt's house is like the central place. So we have to have seating for everyone.
Yeah, totally get that. That's kind of my house around the holidays too. It's like everybody just meets at our house, so I totally understand that. And I mean, it makes sense too because of all of the seating and everything. It's like, well, if everybody's going to go over there, everyone's going to go sit there and catch up on the daily deets.
Yeah. And this little sewing room, yeah. This sewing room is for my mom. She was a home ec teacher in the Philippines. And so growing up, she made all of my clothes as a kid.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah, so I just remember sitting in next to her in her sewing room, just watching her in awe. And yeah, so this is a little of her.
That's really cool. I love that story. I really love that story, because like, I mean, you think about it, like as a kid and you watch somebody actually do sewing, it's like witchcraft,
It is. I've tried to pick it up. I took home ec in middle school, and it was not for me.
Yeah. And it's such a stuff like that. That kind of those kind of skills, like they really are so important too, you know?
In this little corner right here, actually, I have a picture of my aunt sitting in a corner that looks almost exactly like this.
Ah,
Two chairs that my uncle, he does woodworking that he actually made with his bare hands,
hell
that
yeah.
sit in their living room. And the
Hell
setup is
yeah.
almost exactly like this.
That's so cool. That is so cool.
Yeah. So we will go back here.
Okay.
And this is like on the way to the bedroom areas. So here is the first bedroom. There are two beds in here because, again, like our families all live very close to each other. So
Right.
our families actually take turns staying the night at my aunt's house, or they'll party really hard. So there's always extra beds
Oh,
for
yeah.
people to stay in.
The hospitality is probably on like another level.
Yes. Yeah. Well, family, like huge into
Yeah.
family.
Yeah, yeah. No, I that is so cool. Like it's such a that it's such a warm feeling. It's such a warm feeling. Like it's not it's kind of hard to describe, you know, those that aren't used to that kind of they aren't used to it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like Filipino culture, like kind of here, it's like, oh, you're 18 and you go out on your own. Where in the Philippines, they like to keep family close. Like
Yeah.
they all live together, they build houses around each other. So that's kind of what this is.
Yeah.
And then out here, we have the laundry area. And again, where my family is from is very remote. So they don't have washers and dryers. They actually kind of pre-wash their clothes in the sink, and then they take them out to the river and
Oh,
rinse them and then hang them back up to dry.
that's pretty cool. I mean, sometimes like they're to people that don't know. I mean, if they've never experienced like hanging your clothes out to dry, sometimes there's just kind of a you just don't get that kind of scent, you know, the fresh air scent.
Right, right. And you'll see like a lot of like isolated sitting areas kind of all over my plot, and those are from, our family is they're very like manual labor, like, running the farm is their job. And so they have a lot of places where they can kind of take a rest. They don't
Oh
have an
yeah,
8 to 5. They've got to, until sunrise to sunset.
until I
So
can't anymore. Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Mad respect.
Okay. And then we'll go back this way. This is the bathroom.
Oh yes.
So our family's house in the Philippines, they don't have running water all the time. So when I saw this sink with a bucket underneath, it totally reminded me of what we call tabo, which is like a hygiene bucket, and you use it like you would use it to force water or flush the toilet
Mm-hmm.
or, wash your hands, things like that. That's what that totally reminded me of when I saw it. So
That's cool. And it's really neat. Like as I've been, you know, paleo partner and just kind of understood a lot of the culture behind Singularity 6 too. There is a pretty big Asian influence, you know, for the developers and the art style behind that. So I'm pretty sure that there might have been somebody that understood that same concept, you know.
yeah, because they definitely have like, Filipino food too. So I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah.
And then this would be like the master. This would be like my aunt and uncle's room since they are the main, you know, couple in our family that holds everybody together. They have their own bedroom. So almost all of the other bedrooms have multiple beds except for theirs.
Oh, that is cool. I love how everything is so. I love how you've tied everything together with colors, and it feels so, it's just wonderful. It's a treat for the eyes. And as you're describing and just kind of, I mean, you're really educating me on it too. It gives me the opportunity to understand that when you place something down, it's not just an item in the game. It has intent. It has purpose. And like, you've thought about, this is how it would be, in reality.
Yes. And then this is just like their little porch that they would have to relax, kind of away from everybody, because sometimes, the family can be a lot.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's family. That's a lot. I mean, that's a universal thing at that point.
Yeah. Well, I think our family, we have 4 or 5 houses full of family, all in the same little neighborhood area. So, I mean, I would think on any given weekend, there's probably 20 to 25 people at my aunt's house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then this upstairs is for me. This is my kind of witchy little upstairs area. I couldn't help myself. It's the
No,
only place on the plot.
hey, no, that's really cool. It's one of the things that I also appreciate too, is when you have a space like on the plot, and during house tours, when people are like, this is my space, it's like, this is the place where you don't hold back. Like, you let it all out. And I always like to drink these little bits of the tour in, because it really shows a lot about your personality too.
Yeah. Yeah, I love witchy things. Our house is, I'm a very, like, Halloween is my favorite holiday. We
Oh
have a
yeah.
12-foot skeleton family in our front yard currently.
Yes.
So, yeah. So this is for me up here.
I love it. I love how everything is laid out. Got good mixes of colors and everything.
I love the wallpaper. I love the
Yeah.
wallpaper so much.
Yeah. A shameless plug for our Discord, the committee. There's gonna be a link in the description, but yeah, I want you to, if you feel comfortable, post some pictures, if you would, please, and thank you.
Oh yeah, for
Me and Ellie,
sure.
we love seeing Halloween stuff.
Yes. Okay, back downstairs, we've got the little karaoke machine. As you
Yes.
might know, Filipinos love karaoke. Any gathering, wedding, birthday, funeral, karaoke.
For all occasions. That's awesome.
Yes. And then this is our formal dining room.
I
We
love
always have
I love
a
how
formal dining room.
it's got lots of different elements on it, and like you mentioned, like food for days.
Yes. Always food. Growing up, like my friends were not allowed to come over to our house unless my mom had food ready. If I had friends over after school and there was no food, I would be in trouble.
Oh. There's lots of, like, I've had the honor of working with people from different cultures too, and I absolutely love learning about those different things like that. I had a friend who uh was part Chinese, and he would tell me one of the traditions was, like, it was good luck to bring rice, when somebody moved in. That way they had, plenty to eat. It was that kind of thing. I thought that
Yes.
was a really
Yep.
beautiful thing.
Yeah, Filipinos do that too. When my daughter moved to college, my mom forced her to take rice and then gave her a handful of change to put in her window.
I love it. I mean, you just it's the whole, if you know, kind of thing. It's like, But hey,
Yeah.
you know, it's one of those things, it's one of those things that really has stood the test of time because, like, I mean, when you're young, you're like, hey, you know what? I got a bag of rice in my closet or in my, pantry. I can put that to use.
Right.
I love
Right.
this.
So this is the inside kitchen. It doesn't get used very often except for like formal occasions.
Did
And
you
then we
use one of the stones to show like meat? That's clever.
yes.
That's
Yes.
clever.
It was always, it kind of reminds me of like, growing up, my mom would be like, make sure you take the meat out of the fridge before I get home so I can cook dinner. And then, you would forget.
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah.
And then this is the pantry. This would
So,
be, I made it really big because this would be the pantry for the whole family. And
yeah.
so in the Philippines, that's how it is at my aunt's houses. They have, a granary and a big pantry for everyone, and then everyone would just come there and get their groceries, basically.
Because if I remember right, your aunt and uncle ran the marketplace. Like they ran that
Yes.
shop. That makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
So this whole room would be the pantry, right? Because
Yes.
you could take like you have a little storage area, but like if you needed to prep something or package it up or something like that, yeah, that's
Yep.
really cool.
I thought of putting chairs here because I remember also like being a kid and like ending beans
Yeah,
for my parents. You
yeah.
just sit at the table and end beans for who knows how long.
Until you can't anymore.
Right.
Those are your hours of operation.
And then I made a little kitsu area back here because I just think he's the cutest. So this is
Oh
the little
yeah.
kitsu area.
I especially love like how you did this because I've seen people that do the boundaries and stuff. But this really frames it in how you have the dynamic wallpapers on the outside and you have the trees kind of where it is. So like you've really used the structure of the house to kind of give the kids a little space. But I also like
Yeah.
that you put it in a way that you have a placeholder. The kitsu is away. AFK. AFK. AF
Yeah.
kitsu.
AF kitsu. And then this is the garden, which is like one of my favorite places on the plot because
Yeah.
we also like to garden.
That
And
makes
we have like,
sense. It makes perfect
yeah,
sense. But I
yeah,
like especially how you have it decorated, and with it being on the beachy landscape, it really looks like it's a curated area. It's like this is the
yeah.
dry area, and like you have it tilled and watered, and yeah.
Yep. And then this is one of my favorite things. So like my husband and I have been talking about it, but we would like to get beehives at some point.
Oh yeah,
Save
yeah.
save the bees. So I did
Save
a
the
little
bees.
thing. Yeah.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
We actually planted a clover lawn a few years ago because,
Oh,
to save the bees.
get that clover honey though.
Yes. Yes, we have it around us pretty locally, but we have family members that are allergic, so I don't know if it's going to work out.
I mean, part of the investment of bees is the supplies for stings.
Right. Right. So this way, I know we just got these yesterday, but I made rice
Oh my
terraces.
goodness. Yes.
I
That
saw
is
those and I
awesome.
instantly thought, this is what I'm going to do.
That's awesome. It's so fun for me whenever new things come out for Palia. I've always mentioned that I don't look at the new items the same way that most other people do because I look at it from the dynamic of I wonder how people are going to use these for their plots, you know? So every time we get new items, even if it literally is like the day before a tour, right? It's going to change the dynamic of a plot. And to capture that, people get inspiration from it. They're like, hey, you know what? I can also use that for rice terraces. Or you might jog somebody's memory to do a different implementation of it.
Yeah. So yeah, those are my rice terraces.
That's awesome.
And then we've got another little sitting area here. And I love the little choppas, so I had to give them their own little space.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Choppas are great.
They're so cute.
It makes me wonder,
And
like, if we will ever get, I don't know if we have it, but like, it makes me wonder if we'll ever get like the Choppa hat, like the hat that they're wearing. I would wear that hat. It's
oh,
nice. Like that.
definitely. Definitely. And then this is probably my favorite place on my plot. This is the outdoor kitchen. This is
Oh,
where the heart of our family is. We have all of our big gatherings here. After a work day,
how
we'll
sweet.
pile on the food. There's karaoke. We've got mahjong tables for my uncles.
Because I mean, they gotta just sit at the table and don't bother them. They're busy.
Yeah, have their adult beverages and play
There you
some
go.
mahjong. And then here we have the roast pit. So
Oh, tell me about the
Filipinos
roast
love.
pit.
So we have at every major celebration, we call it lechon, which is the whole roast pig.
Ooh, yeah.
And this is kind of, a nod to that.
That's really cool.
And my dad and my uncles would sit and they would just sit here, stoke the fire, drink some drinks, maybe play the guitar all day because it takes all day.
Oh, I bet. I bet it does take all day. That's that,
Yep.
yeah. Low and slow.
Yep.
Cannot rush
and then
that.
you would take it off and put it at this table, and then they would carve it, and you'd grab a plate off the stack and take what you want.
Heck yeah. That's awesome. That is awesome. But it tastes phenomenal. I'm a barbecue man myself. I love smoking the meats.
Oh, me too. Me too. I am
Yeah.
the griller in our family.
Heck yeah. That's what's up.
And then we've got another vendor selling drinks and snacks.
Nice. Ooh, I like how you combine them together. I mean, that's very true to form, you know?
Yes, you got a little window here for pickup. If you're going to serve a table,
Yeah.
the hostess or server would grab it and take it.
Get your bucket of drinks, bucket of
Yes.
popsicles.
Yes. And then over here we have the workshop. Again, like my uncle and my dad both built their houses from scratch.
Oh yeah.
So,
So you totally
my
have,
uncle.
yeah, you totally got the handcrafted feel to this too.
Yes. Yes. And you notice there's, beers here and there. We call those, working beers.
Working beers. Yeah.
Working
Yeah.
beers.
I see a little
You even get
snack plate. It's like, grab a bite, take it to get the stuff done, and then you just kind of leave your plate there. Somebody will get it eventually.
Yep. Beer fridge.
Beer fridge. Yeah. That's epic beer fridge.
Yes.
Gets it cold enough to where there's like little crystals forming, but not too cold, not frozen.
Yep.
On the verge of freezing.
Yeah.
That's
And
really
then
really well done.
and then in here is kind of the man cave. So growing up, my dad was a field worker. And my mom had like major allergies. So my dad always had like a separate little area he could go to after work and kind of unwind, change clothes, hang out with my uncle if needed, play some poker.
Yeah. I love
So
how
this
you're
kind of-
just like everything that I'm looking at, just it tells a story. And I could make assumptions, but I want to mention that like I am very happy I got you on voice to fill in all the gaps. Tell me all the deets.
Yeah. So yeah, and then this is the spare bedroom. Like, if my dad got home late or was exhausted, he had a place to crash
Yeah.
to not disturb my mom.
I mean, that is important, very important.
Yeah. And I was so excited when we got these little backpacks because I'm a hiker. So this
Oh,
is,
that's cool.
yes, I love it.
I
And then we
see
got
wonderful
the
stuff over
little,
here.
yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, yeah.
I put the telescope out here because Shane is my Shep.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So this is a little spot for Shane.
And that is a proper telescope. Proper telescope.
Yes.
It's
And
very
we will
important.
actually go inside the fisherman's house first.
Okay.
Obviously being in the Philippines and living on an island, fishing is a major thing. So
Oh, yeah, totally.
I made a little fisherman's house.
Oh, yeah.
And again, like these little side houses don't have a whole lot because again, like they all congregate at my aunt's house. So, it's just little things to get by, but
Yeah.
everything major happens at the main house.
Yeah, no, I totally see that. It's very like as I'm looking around and stuff like that, it just kind of seems like, okay, well, this is just a place for me to just kind of do the basics and then go back to the central area.
Yep.
It's kind of like this is like a really big stretch, but my brain's just kind of making this connection. It's like the bed at a theme park, You only sleep
Right.
there. Most of the time you're just going to be out and about doing stuff. So,
Yep. And then through here.
but I love how it's decorated. Like every single house has like a different personality to it.
Yes. I tried to pull that off. So my mother is a huge gardener. Indoor plants, outdoor plants. She's always doing something. She'll say, "Oh, I'm done. I'm done like tweaking little things." And then sure enough, like the next day she is outside buying a new plant, transplanting a plant. So we've got like a little work area for her.
That's awesome.
And a little hot tub after a long day.
Heck yeah, that's
well, because look at the view.
Yeah, you can't put a price on a view like that. Absolutely not. Especially, if you're just like soaking in a hot tub.
Right. And then here we have my mother's garden. And this looks like my mother's garden. Like no lawn, every square inch is some sort of flower or plant. She's got little sitting areas so she can enjoy it from different viewpoints.
That's really wonderful. And it's like, if you were uninitiated, looking at it, you'd be like, man, that's a whole lot of flowers. But like you and I both know that they are meticulously placed and curated and taken care of.
Yes, definitely. I think at one point my mom said she had over 200 roses in her garden.
I bet they are like the best smelling, like top tier. I mean, you couldn't really get that quality from anywhere else.
Yeah. And it's great too because she has all kinds of wildlife that like she's in the garden so often that like hummingbirds just land on her, the squirrels just come around. Yeah.
So what you're saying is that your mother is a Disney princess?
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Now you tell her I said that. You said Commit said you're a Disney princess.
I will. And then over here at our last stop is a jeepney.
What now?
They're called jeepneys. So back in the war, they had a surplus of jeeps.
Okay.
And they were given to the local people, and they used them basically like Ubers. Like they were like the first Ubers.
Oh,
And
cool.
they were like a fleet of taxis, and they would decorate them with like themes and colors of like their regions and their families. They'd make them really bright colors, lots of lights. And because they were a cheap mode of transportation, you would pile on as many people and as much cargo as you could on them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that is so cool.
So yeah, so that is my little nod to the jeepneys. I remember the very first time that I went to the Philippines where I could remember, I went as a small child, but that I could remember. And the first time riding in the jeepney, I was just like, this is safe. Like we just let people like ride on top and hang off the sides, and you just throw money at the driver when you get off, and
Call it a day.
you jump on.
Yeah.
You jump on if it's moving, if you can. It was the craziest thing to experience, but they're a huge part of the Philippine culture.
Yeah. Just the less you think about it, the better. You're just like, yeah, it's all good. That is really cool. I can tell
that is my plot.
Yeah, I can tell you this is like the jewel of the plot, like all the different nods and everything like that. And I want to thank everybody real quick for watching. But while you're here, like the video, go ahead and follow me for more Palia tours and leave a comment like what resonated with you. If you're from the Philippines, definitely chime in. I'd love to hear from you. But if not, like, what did you enjoy learning? So I will see you all for the next Palia tour. And until next time, take care. Bye-bye.